G'day, welcome everybody to the Cave Sessions, Player Issue Podcast, Cave Sessions, should I say. What episode is it? Episode 9? Yeah, episode 9. Do a good start here. Episode 9 of the Player Issue Podcast, Cave Sessions. I am your host, Aaron Warwick. With me today, with a very special guest, for the moment anyway, is Emma and Milo Warwick. Say g'day, Milo. Where are you? Say g'day to the camera. The people at home want to say hello. There you go. Hello. Nailed it. It's got a head for video, I think. Which is beautiful. Hello, Emma.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hopefully you don't hear too much panting. She's puffing and carrying on.
She is, but she's part of the family. We've got to have her here. So thank you, Milo, for joining us. No doubt she'll be out here any minute. She'll want to go outside as well, so she'll be here for a little bit to get herself on camera, get her 15 minutes of fame, and then she'll bugger off.
It's not very comfortable either. My legs are in agony.
Emma. So it's been, what is it? It's the 11th of December. We're 2 weeks into December, and it has been chaos already. I work in retail. You work in the beauty industry. It's been nuts. Let's be honest. We're very tired. Had a nice day off today, though. We both had a nice day off today, actually. We didn't get out of bed till quite late this morning. Or when I say this morning, I think I got out of bed sometime this afternoon.
About 2:30.
It was worth it, though. It was a good sleep. I feel really good, rejuvenated. What time did you get up this morning?
About 10:30.
We also had a bit of a party, a bit of a shindig here last night at the Warwick household. We had our, I wouldn't say annual, well, I suppose we'll say our annual Christmas party for our basketball team on Tuesday night basketball. Byford Falcons, I think they're called.
Isn't it Globetrotters or something like that for us?
Yeah, something like that. So we have a Tuesday night social basketball that we head down every Tuesday night and just join in and make up some teams on the go, and it's good fun. We have a great time together and have a bit of a shoot around and head on home. But last year we did a bit of a Christmas party at some Italian restaurant, I want to say, in Coburn. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with that is there was, one really long table for all these people and you couldn't really talk to anybody. So Em decided it was a good idea to have the party here at our house and had most of the crew rock up, and we had a good time. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it was all right. Glad no one stayed any longer, though, because I was freaking tired.
I reckon people started seeing me yawn.
You and I were sync yawning.
Which at 11 o'clock at night for me is very unusual. But, yeah, as I said, Christmas and this time of the year, retail, I'm knackered. It's been incredibly tiring couple of weeks, working my ass off, but it's for a good cause, I suppose, and by the end of it, we'll have a little bit of a time off. Well, I'd love to say we'll have a bit of time off, but not until March, so got to recharge the battery somehow, and thankfully I still have 2 days off in a row, and Milo's just about collapsed.
She slipped off my knees.
Oh, Milo.
I'm massaging her legs, so she's like just melted.
Falling asleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, Christmas party last night. It was good fun. Everybody came around. Everybody bought a dish of something. So we had a very cultural, diverse group of people. We had Italians, we had Malaysians, we had South Africans. So everybody sort of brung some sort of meal from their home country. And it was great. Great little feast.
Stop licking my glasses. Stop. Oh, God, stop.
Speaking of feast, Milo's having a great time.
I can't see.
All right, so Milo's off now. He'll come past me in a minute. No, she wants to come up with me. No, sorry. Anyway, it was a great time last night. A couple of drinks we had. We woke up eventually feeling great. I only had a couple of drinks, as we mentioned, so it was fine. But it was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good fun. I like it. What else have we been up to this weekend? We've started again. I wouldn't say started, but we've continued with the fish pond or the turtle pond.
Yeah.
Her little habitat is well and truly underway now. It's actually almost finished.
Pond liner, rocks, filter, water.
How exciting was that though? Because we walked outside. Well, I went outside. Emma's already out there gardening because that's what she does. She was outside gardening. I went to check out what she was doing, and it was very overcast, very late at night, probably 9:30 at night. And the sky was just electric. There was just thunder and lightning everywhere.
I was aerating a lawn because it's been so hot lately and it's a terrible job. And I just said, do you come out and watch the lightning? Because, excuse me, every time it's lightning, you always miss it. And it was going on for about 3 hours, 4 hours, I'd say. It was going on for ages. And then next minute, Erin's just like, give me a shovel, finishing this turtle thing. Before you know it, we were committed.
Well, the problem was, obviously, when we were trying to do it before, it was just way too freaking hot. So it was a big time struggle. So that was a really nice night. I was sitting out there thinking, geez, this would be a great time to try and do the rest of this pond because it is nice and cool out here. So I did. I slapped my hands together, got in there, and the issue was trying to build the walls in. Couldn't keep the walls up at all. So I got him to soak all the sand and it just hardened up a bit for me so I could just kind of mold it like a clay and to build the wall. So once we got that done, we just decided we don't want these walls to collapse. So let's chuck the plastic in and put the water in and keep it going. So we did. And 3 days later, we've got rocks in there now. We've got grass. We've got a filter. And Turtle actually took her first swim today, which was exciting. What?
I can't unhear that.
What happened?
The dog nibbling on its paws.
She's having a good time. Anyway, so
yes, Turtle had to swim. Even though I'm pretty sure you put her into shock because you didn't test the water, and then you put your feet in there, and you're like, "Oh, this is cold."
Yeah, look, it was a warmish day today, so I thought with that black
28
plastic that it should be right.
28 degrees.
Yeah, it'd be nice and warm in that water. But so she went in and didn't get too far in. It's probably I'd say at least a 9-foot tank.
The last time you stood in it and you said it was warm, we had no filter, so it was just steady water warming up because it had a filter running. It's filtrating it and it's making it cooler.
Yeah, so it's about a 9-foot pond, I reckon.
Yeah,
deep enough.
Knees.
It's much bigger than what she's got now anyway, which is going to be great for her. So we're thinking, she's gone in there, she's slid in, and I thought, here we go, she's going to go off an adventure and check out the whole pond. Nah, she just
sat there,
sat in one spot and didn't move.
And then you took her out and she pissed on you.
Yeah, she's done that a long time. It's actually a defense mechanism that turtles do.
Yeah, so she was pissed off that you took her out of her new home.
Yeah, I get that feeling actually because I think she just started to get comfortable in there. But like you said, it was a little bit cold. So we wanted to finish putting off the rocks. So the rocks weren't all through the whole pond as yet. So we wanted to finish doing that, which we spent a fortune on in the last couple of days. Buying 4 bags thinking it'd be enough, and it did a third of the pond, if that. So yeah, she pissed all over the place, and she hasn't done that to me in a long time.
She's never done it to me.
Yeah, but anyway, off of the pond. I don't think people really care about the pond, but that is our week. That's what we've been up to this week. So thought we would share. And we got some new microphone. I wouldn't say stands, but holders.
Arms.
Arms.
Yeah.
That's it. So
I've got nothing to hold on to.
Nothing to do your little turn as you turn towards the camera.
I can still extend it, but I'm going to worry about knocking out these two chaps.
Yeah, so the idea of that was, I mean, you were upset that you didn't have a boom arm like me. You just had your little stand, and I thought actually these came into work, and I thought, well, geez, this is going to be perfect because they're very low profile. So I thought this would be great. Got one for yourself, built it, and I was like, well, this is really cool. I kind of want one for myself now. So here we are. Got one for myself as well, and I quite like them. They're very smooth, and this thing is not going to fall down constantly like the old one did. So beautiful work. Thronmax. Very good. If you're after a boom arm, I recommend it highly. So yeah. What's wrong, Em?
Can't unhear the dog licking its paws. Can you mute me so I can yell at it?
No, I can. We're going to keep it short today. Keep it short.
Keep it short.
We've tried many times to keep it short. This time it will be because we haven't got much for mail day and we haven't got many viewer questions. So it should be fairly simple. So let's get into it, Em.
Let's get into it.
Before we go too far, Christmas episode reminder, 18th of December, Sunday at 7 p.m. WA Standard Time. We're still planning on doing it out on the driveway, as long as somebody can keep their filthy, grubby hands to themselves. Emma's probably a little bit sad today. It's off to a slow start as usual, but she's probably a little bit sadder today because we got home and Em noticed something in the garden that she wasn't happy about. So share with us, Em.
I'm the type of person that you can move something out of place and I'll know it's out of place, especially if I put it there. I don't know. Something told me when we moved here, everything I put out the front. So every year when we used to do the lights at the old place, we would bring everything in, like not the fairy lights, but we'd bring in the reindeers and put them out every day. And it was just a nuisance. So I'm not doing it this year. I'm chaining them. So like the snowman's chained to the downpipe. So that we got two reindeers and a kangaroo in the garden bed, like rose garden, and I've chained them to the roses. And the roses have been there for a long time, so they're like sturdy roses. Anyway, we came home, the kangaroo was on the floor and it was in a different spot, and I was like, he's been moved. Someone's tried to take him. So sure enough, I'm putting him back, and there's a bit snapped off him because they're like plastic or acrylic or something. They're really fragile. And so I normally stake them down with like tent pegs to sort of stop them from falling over in the wind, but to stop them from being stolen, there's chains, and I haven't just chained them on a leg so you can snap the leg off. I've gone through the paws and this, and like I've made a mess of it. So we watched the cameras, and sure enough, some kid jumped the barrier, grabbed it. Obviously, the tail fell off because the tail detaches from it. Thought, obviously, the tail got tangled, yanked it again, realised this ain't going anywhere. Just threw it on the floor and ran off. So it just makes me, it just fucks me up. I don't want to do it anymore.
Number one for the day.
It's not funny. Like, why do I go through all this effort for someone to do that?
Yeah, look, it's incredibly frustrating. Thankfully, you do it for the love. Every single year, you're out there doing it again. So we'll continue to do it. But please keep your filthy, rotten mitts off of our Christmas lights. We would appreciate it. And so does everybody else who actually enjoys the Christmas lights. I just don't understand why people have to go and smash other people's stuff.
I think the thing is as well, like we were saying, it's just a kid or kids that they're not kids, but they're teenagers. It's just like, oh, look at that kangaroo. How cool would that be to steal it? But they don't want anything to do with it. They just, So I hope they don't come back. But yeah, I went and thanked the rose bush afterwards.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He came in and just like, I just went out there and pat the rose bushes.
I did. This rose stood its ground. It saved my life. It stood its ground. So I was like, thank you. I'll give you some extra water tomorrow.
Before we get too far, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. We have 73 subscribers. We want to get to 100 by Christmas, so we got 27 to go. And we only have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to Christmas, Em. 2 weeks today.
I know.
Crikey.
I'm really struggling. This shit like this just makes me really struggle to feel Christmassy.
Don't you worry, because next week, Christmas episode out on the driveway. It's going to be exciting. Don't forget to join us for that. It will be live. So please don't forget to tune in, because we don't want to be streaming to 3 people, ideally. But we will be recording it as well, of course. So we'll put it up straight after we've recorded the episode. Chances are, and I thought about this a lot on the last couple of days, is our internet isn't always the greatest.
Oh, God.
So I did think about it, that while we're doing this live episode, we may have a few technical issues, or we may have some dropouts, or it may not always be perfect. We do hope you stick with us, though, throughout the show. And even if that does happen where we drop out, we will also be recording the show as we do right now while we're streaming. So while it may look crappy at times, or we may drop out, we're going to still keep going and persist with the show, because then we'll put out the show in full without any of that stream lag, any issues. So hopefully I remember to do all that, which I will. Cause
can't be any worse than my turning on Christmas lights live.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good time.
Anyway, carrying on.
Carrying on. So Emma, Hats, we have 3 hats left if anyone is keen for a hat. Michael Clarkson, the swag man. Well, I just said his name. Don't know if you wanted that, but the swag man has bought 2 hats and he would like us to sign to the swag man on one of them.
Okay.
So let's do that tonight.
Just Swagman or the Swagman?
I'll have a look. He did say, and I think he said to the swag man, but we'll have a look. He did write it.
Okay.
Cool. So thank you to the swag man for that. And we have 3 hats left. The shirts are on the way. They're somewhere probably in New South Wales still. Funny story, actually.
Oh, God.
I have one for you very soon. Don't you worry. I've been holding on to this one for a week. I actually sent something to Japan last Thursday, and it arrived on the following Tuesday. And yet, these shirts have been on their way for a couple of weeks now from New South Wales, and they're probably still there.
Ozpost are shite.
Do you know what? Ozpost are goddamn shite, but this is
They are
Sendle, which
shite.
is even worse.
Oh, really?
I think they do everything by truck, and they are the slowest trucks in the world. So the shirts will hopefully arrive before Christmas, but can't guarantee that at all. So yeah, hopefully we'll get the shirts in soon. You can have a look at those, and hopefully they turn out to be a little bit better than we think. And we're going to do a fit check. A fit check is something that a lot of ASMR artists do. ASMR artists do. Mostly it's females. And I think the stupid thing is, well, yeah, the stupid thing is they're all like, oh, we're going to do a fit check. And they're standing up and they're rubbing themselves. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's all about the fabric sounds. And you could just tell that they're trying to just get the viewers and shit. However, we are just excited about our fit. And I want to say that because I am cooking my ass off. I'm so hot under this jumper, but I had to do it. I didn't wear it last week, and I mentioned it. I'm wearing the Old Bull Young Buck podcast hoodie. I actually tried to get this hoodie before they were released. Sadly, the Old Bull Young Buck podcast is no more because David Mundy is now retired and Griffin Logan's now at North Melbourne. So it was such a great show, and we enjoyed it, but now it's over. So we are trying to continue on the legacy of Old Bull Young Buck. There is stuff on the back. I'm not going to bother standing up for them. M's fit check now. I'm actually rather excited about this. It looks great on camera. M's obviously wearing a Player Issue podcast hat, which she wears every week. Wearing a sexy glasses that she wears every episode at the moment as well. What's the go there, Em? You're now wearing your glasses every episode.
I can't see.
That's fair.
I can't see. They're not for fashion. They are actually my glasses.
Show us your nails. You got different nails this week.
Christmas nails.
I think you showed us last week your nails, but now in this...
We didn't, but they were Christmas nails too.
Well, there you go. There's the new ones. You stick your other hand behind it.
This hand?
Not what I meant, but yeah, that's actually worked out quite well. So you got your Christmas candy canes on your new nails. You got your wedding ring on, which is great. Both of us are married today, which is fantastic. And your final fit check is your jumper that you're wearing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my slippers.
I don't even know what you're wearing on your feet.
My slippers.
What slippers?
My bunny slippers.
The fuzzies. Em's jumper that she is wearing is a 2022 or season 7 that they called it this season because they did 2 2022 seasons.
Covered in dog fur.
Yeah. 2022 Indigenous round Gabby O'Sullivan jumper. Stand up and turn around, Em, so people can see the number on the back as well.
Standing up too far.
That'll do. Perfect. Beautiful. So you got the GPS pocket up the top there. Programmed is actually the program sponsor is sublimated at the top. The bottom one, however, is heat press, and it's actually been annoying Em all day because it's rather hot today, so it's been sticking to her back all day. But there you go. That's Gabby O'Sullivan's Indigenous jumper. We've had a couple of chats to Gabby. She's a lovely lady. Beautiful little fit check there. Well done, Em.
A fit chick.
A fit chick indeed.
Fit chick.
Also, we've got a couple of things around the room that we usually do. Andy Brayshaw's 2022 match worn warm-up top over my right shoulder there. And behind us is Hulk Hogan's worn, ripped, and blood-stained, I'll say cut-off shirt. Yeah. And then underneath, because we didn't want to have him half naked this week, is a pair of Bill Goldberg shorts, worn and signed by Bill Goldberg. Oh my God, I can't speak English. Bill Goldberg. I call him Bill Goldberg because it's just Goldberg in WWE. And then over M's shoulders, we got the Brisbane Bears long sleeve 1994 player issue jumper there, worn by, not worn by, it could have been, I'm not too sure. Chris Scott. And then you got a Bombers Clash jumper from 2018, which is an Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody. Actually, really sad to see that he went back to the Bombers instead of coming to Freo. M's tuned out. And then you've got a Trent Burgoyne round 1 2020 player issue Port Adelaide home jumper. There you go. M's checking the cameras because she's a bit nervous about people stealing the light still. It's not funny, no.
It's not funny.
It isn't, but you got to make light of some things.
I know. I'm just nervous now.
All right. All right. We'll jump off to feedback. Did anyone give you any feedback or any thoughts on last week's episode, Emma?
Someone said something about me being back in the chair. That was about it, really, wasn't it?
All right. Yeah. Okay. So
I didn't see I saw the comment, but
that was Bradley Stone. Good man.
Name.
Good man, Bradley Stone.
Such a strong name. Stone.
Bradley Stone.
Stone.
Well, he's a good man. He's a Hawks man. He's a very tall man. Now, Bradley, I'm not sure how tall you are, but I'm going to say he's about 6'6", at least. He's a very, very tall man.
So just lean on my head.
Intimidatingly tall, as a matter of fact, but he's a good dude. I didn't actually see him at this year's Freo sale. He is in Perth. I didn't see him this year. Could be wrong. He could be in there, but I don't know. I don't think he was there. But he did write a comment on our YouTube channel, and he wrote, "Great episode and great to have M back in the chair." M's happy to be back. I agree with Erin. I hate it when people ask for offers or say, "Send me a message if you are keen." Waste of everybody's time. Keep up the good work, peeps.
Peeps. I say that a lot.
Yes, we do also. We do both say that a lot. Yes, I totally agree. I hate offers. As I mentioned on the last episode, I just don't like doing it. Generally, when people say, "Send me an offer," I just say, "Nope, I snay." I say, "Nope, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Let me know when you come up with a price." Generally, they'll then magically come up with a price. But
yeah.
I just don't like doing it because I hate being that first person to throw an offer because it never ended up coming back to me. Jordan Coates also wrote, on the topic of players signing jumpers, I went to the Hawks training session here in Tasmania before Big Boy McAvoy's last game, and he was more than happy to sign his jumper for me on both sides, and thankfully he did not rush it whatsoever. So thank you, Jordan, for letting us know that. That's great to hear. And thank you to Big Boy McAvoy for signing that jumper for Jordan. And there was one more from Matthew Anthony Langley on the Facebook page.
Isn't that when he thought I was killing you?
Yeah. His comment was simply, "M's finally decided to kill him."
Daily.
We hear a lot that the way to grow your YouTube videos is to have a really good thumbnail. And that one was pure coincidence that I just skipped through the video just to have a look, and bang, landed straight on M's trying to strangle me. So what a great thumbnail that was. Didn't work, though.
It's not what it looks like, I swear.
Only got 111 views, but oh well. We're slowly declining.
I know. People are getting sick of our shit already.
It's getting close to Christmas, so I can understand. Em, I got a little bit for you here.
Hello.
A new segment. A new segment for you. As I mentioned, we are paying homage to Old Bull Young Buck today. So I'm bringing back a little segment that they used to do. It's called Quick Hands. Em doesn't remember. She's confused.
No, it's been a while since I watched it.
So what I'm going to do, Em, is simply because you ask me all the questions all the time.
Oh, God, don't ask me questions on the spot. I don't like it.
I just don't like it.
Don't like it. You should put that up too. Don't like it.
Please explain.
All right, since you're always asking me the questions, I get the chance to ask you the questions this time.
Oh, God.
And as I said, they're quick hand questions, so they're rapid fire. So whatever comes to your mind as quick as possible. Just one quick answer, and we move to the next one.
All right.
Not only is this going to be a little bit fun, it's also going to give people a chance to get to know you a little bit more. So, are you ready?
Yep.
Had a swig, and she's ready to go. All right, Em, here we go. Last time you called your mum.
Oh, I didn't call her. She calls me.
Last time you called your mum.
Today.
We are off to a flying start here. Quick answers,
Talk to Mum
apparently.
so often I couldn't tell you. Today.
Today, last meal on earth.
Spaghetti?
Tomato sauce, fridge or pantry?
Pantry.
Favourite brekkie?
Toast.
Coffee of choice?
What are the ones we have? Caramel lattes?
You don't have to say coffee necessarily.
I have tea.
Tea? How do you order your steak?
Medium well.
Dream job?
Working with animals like a zoo.
First car?
1991 Corolla.
Most used emoji?
Love heart. Red love heart.
And first impressions when you met me? Impressions when you met me?
Ugh.
Oh,
I can't say it. I can't say it.
what is it?
You had hair sticking out of your nose, and I just remember being like, "Oh my god, he needs to get rid of them."
Wow. 8 years later, and it's the first time I'm hearing this.
That being my first thought when I saw you. I was like, "He's very attractive, but he's got his hair's coming out of his nose," and I was like, There you go."
I was going to stick with the very attractive comment. I'm happy with that. And there's a few hairs sticking out of my nose at the moment, so I have to work on that. Last meal on earth, spaghetti. And did you just say spaghetti?
Yeah,
Sticking with that?
spaghetti.
Fair enough. Fridge or pantry? You said pantry, yeah?
Pantry.
A lot of people say fridge, and I think we went around Matt's.
He said fridge, yeah.
He did say fridge, and I think it actually says on the bottle you got to keep
To
refrigerated.
store in the fridge, yeah.
But I don't like it. I hate having a hot pie and sticking freezing cold sauce on it. It's just weird to me. I don't know. Your favourite brekkie being toast?
I eat toast all the time.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's your go-to brekkie, but surely, big breakfast or something, bacon and eggs on toast. No, fair enough. And we won't go through all the answers here.
Keep it simple.
I was surprised though. Dream job being vet.
A zoo.
A zoo.
Working with animals in a zoo.
It's pretty cool.
I'm not a vet. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a vet, but I couldn't bring myself to put animals down. I'd love to be like a keeper, like a zookeeper. Something fluffy.
I think a lot of people do say that they want to be a vet because they want to work with animals, and then I know a lot of people who have actually done like
a veterinary course,
work placements or something, and they've not lasted very long because once they've realised that they have to put an animal down,
do it.
It's over.
I worked with animals when I was a kid. Like I did a lot of work experience. Did work experience with a company that trained German shepherds for security.
Oh yeah.
The puppies were cute and everything, but seeing some of the dogs, like how vicious they were, and then like having to get them put down for things was horrible. And then I worked with a lady in a paddock with horses, and same, just couldn't do it. And then some horses they don't put down very nicely.
Yeah, right.
Just shot in the head. So yeah, couldn't do it.
No, me either. That sounds savage.
There you go.
All right. Well, yeah, we learned a little bit more about you, but there's one thing that probably a lot of people ask, and that is, what do you do for a living? What is your job, your day-to-day grind?
I am a beautician, beauty therapist.
Therapist.
Mobile. A mobile beauty therapist.
Yeah. So what does that entail? What do you do as a mobile beauty therapist?
Waxing, spray tanning, lashes, stuff like that.
You actually spray tanned the girlfriend of a footy player last week as well, did you not?
Yes. Am I allowed to say who?
Yeah, sure.
Buddy Mitch Crowden's girlfriend. She was nice. But he was having a good gawp while spray tanning her.
You did tell me the story when you got home, what happened there. So you set up the tent in another separate room, and Georgia's the name of the girlfriend. Name of the girlfriend, yes. Wanted to ask if she could go in Starkers because that's the best way to go if you're getting a tan, right? So
especially if you're going on holiday.
Yeah, so you want to cover fully. I always go in Starkers whenever you tan me, so why not? It's the right thing to do. Get it fully covered, great. So you did that, off to another room, separate room, closed the door behind you, and then tell me what happened.
Oh, there was a bit of a gap. It was like a barn sliding door. There was a bit of a gap. She had 2 dogs, so she locked the dogs out. And of course, there's one of the dogs that's opened the gap a bit further. And then we turn around and I've just heard her go, "You're right." And Mitch is like, I said, "Do you want to take a fucking picture?" He's like, "Yeah."
Sorry, Ed.
Smooth.
Off camera there. I've just let one go. Yeah, so that's exciting. She just tanned Mitch Croden's girlfriend. So,
Oh my
bit
God,
of
you all
gas.
right?
I have a bit of gas, I'll be honest. So Coke doesn't go well. We shouldn't be drinking Coke when we
No.
play when we're doing this because both of us end up gassy. There she goes. All right. So everyone knows what you do now. We'll probably ask different questions each week so people can get to know you a little bit better. If anyone has any questions for Em that they would like me to throw at Em as a quick hands question, feel free to send them in. I will gladly ask. Be
It could be
afraid.
dangerous. It could be dangerous.
You're gonna help me edit the show one day because
Yeah,
see
you
what
gotta
goes
teach me how
into
to
it.
do it. Every time I say, I was like, "Can you please teach me how to do it?" Then we come sit in the cave, put on something, you look over, and Emma's just
Yeah, every single time. Last week she's like, "Yeah, I want to learn how to do it." So I was, all right, cool, come join me. First problem was I said, grab the blanket. That's a mistake right there. So she
Gone.
grabbed the blanket, sat down, said, "Let me know when you're ready for me." So literally 5 minutes later, turn around, I'm ready. Okay, no response. She's out like a light. So one day we'll get a chance to
one
show
day
you how
I'll
to
edit.
edit. All right. So Em, we're not going to get too far into this because it's a in progress. There's a little bit of a potential follow up to last week's "Don't Do as a Collector," which was somebody who was potentially scamming
Mm-hmm.
and with a fake name, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
There was a jumper during the week on eBay, a Frio jumper, that somebody put up saying that they actually owned the jumper because the same photos that were used on that listing were of the same jumper that the photos were used for a listing that he actually purchased that same jumper. So right there, it just sounds dodgy, right? What's even worse is after the person who won it messaged me straight away to say, "Do you want to know what's funny about that listing?" It seems that the person who sold it is the same person that was doing these potentially scam listings on Marketplace. It's the same name. So that's as far as we're going to get into it because that is still pending. He's paid for it. The name came up. So he let me know straight away that he's hoping that it's not a scam and it all goes perfectly smooth. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, he is not using the pictures of his own jumper because he's taken the same pictures from somebody else. So it's either a scam or he's too damn lazy to take photos of his own jumper and just took them from somebody else's. I will do that if it's a brand new product in box and it's something that's common, but not of a jumper. Not of something that has very particular details, potentially have different stains or markings on the jumper. Then some people actually look at the listings and go, "Oh, I can photo match that jumper from that listing." And this person's just put up essentially a stock photo, which, yeah, don't do it.
I mean, he sold it what on eBay?
Yeah,
He's not really going to get away with scamming him anyway because eBay will give you your money back. So
that's right. So I reckon he'll end up getting the jumper.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't think there'll be an issue there
No.
because it's too hard to scam on
eBay
eBay.
will just give you your money back.
Not every time though, because I
Really?
have seen a lot where, especially with wrestling belts, I'm in wrestling belt communities as well, where people will buy wrestling belts and they'll get sent a box, but inside the box will be a brick.
What?
Yeah. So it's still the same sort of weight that a belt should be. It shows that it's delivered. They've put the on the PayPal or whatever. They put the tracking number, so when it gets delivered, eBay is happy and everybody's happy. And then they actually get sent something completely different. I've seen where people actually bought football jumpers and been sent women's lingerie.
But in saying that, you shouldn't have to. But then if it keeps happening, you should film like you opening it, and then eBay can't argue with that. You've got video footage of the fact that you've opened it and a brick's come out of it. But how often are you going to open something and be like, I better film this in case someone sent me a brick?
Yeah, and I'd say it doesn't happen often at all, but I can say honestly that I've done it myself because
What, sent a brick?
no, that I have filmed myself opening something because I bought some stuff off people that I'm not too sure I completely 100% trust.
Mm.
So I film myself opening just in case because you never know. I haven't had anything go wrong yet anyway. So, but yeah, I would recommend to somebody if you're not too sure and you think, oh, it's all good because I'm going to be covered by eBay, that just film yourself opening it just in case. And funny thing is, we actually do film ourselves opening most things on the show here, so
Yeah.
we should be fine. But could you imagine if someone sends us something dodgy and it's on the show? That'd be foolish. But anyway, so that'll be a little side. We'll chuck that to the side. We'll revisit that
Pending.
pending next week once I be told of the outcome of the jumper being sent. But can you just imagine that this same
It's
person,
doing it
a
again.
couple of days later,
Don't do it.
his name pops up again on something that's potentially dodgy?
And the thing is like, people are eventually going to figure out his name. Not that we're saying it. People are going to figure out his name, and people are going to stop buying stuff off him.
Yeah.
People are just going to stop buying stuff and be like, well, I don't trust you.
Hell
You
no.
did this. I'm not going to trust you.
Mm.
I mean, would you buy something off this person right now?
Hell no.
Well, exactly. So,
Yeah.
he's going to make a very bad reputation for himself, but digging his own grave here. So,
Yeah. Foolish. Problem is foolishness comes in the ways of younger kids most of the time at the moment. Just don't do it. Don't be stupid.
don't pinch Christmas lights.
Don't pitch Christmas lights. Don't do scammy shit, and don't be a dick.
Oh. Oh. See what you did there?
Now, Em, I
Yes.
have something that I've been holding on to for a while. I know you
Okay.
held on to something for a week.
Mate,
Second or
you're
third
always
episode.
holding on to it. Put it down.
Oh yeah, sorry, I got my hand off it. Now it actually happened at work.
Oh, God.
So there was a guy walking through work who was very dodgy. And I didn't notice at first who this person was because it's bright sunlight or bright daylight inside the shop. And we were following him around for quite a while. He's having a chat with everyone and just being super dodgy. It's the thing that super dodgy people do is try and, create a bond with somebody and then go and steal shit off that same person.
Mm-hmm.
So we eventually got him out of the shop. I went and closed all the store, went to leave. We're walking around the corner to go to the lift to leave. And this same person is ass up over the counter of one of those shops, little stalls in the middle of the shop, one of the phone case shops.
Yeah.
So he's over the top trying to grab stuff from underneath the cupboards, underneath the cabinets. I didn't want to say anything at first, so I just kept walking. I was like, it's not my place, not my problem. I'm not going to bother. But somebody with me at the time was like, nah, you need to do something about it. Because it's not cool that this poor place is being robbed by this asshole. So I was like, okay, fine. So I turned around, went back and said, hey, mate, everyone knows what you're doing. How about you walk the fuck out of the shopping centre before the cops get called? And he looked at me with the most puzzled look on his face. And I'm like, why is this dude so confused about what I just said? Like, just leave the shopping centre. Everyone knows what you're here to do. And he just looks at me dead in the eye and says, are you Aaron Warwick? I was like, oh, shit. I was like, what is this? I got another criminal brother? I don't know what's happening here. And I'm like, I don't ever want to tell this guy. Why is he asking me my name? So I didn't say. I'm just like, doesn't matter, man. Like, just leave. And he's like, no, man. I'll watch your show. I was like, oh, shit. He's like, yeah, you're Aaron Warwick. And, Emma, your wife. I watch her all the time. Like,
Fuck off. I'm sure he does.
yeah, well, I'm thinking, geez, what is he doing to the videos? I'm like, Jesus Christ. He's like, yeah, I was on the show. I'm sorry, what? He's like, yeah, I'm the cracky. I was like, oh no, you're kidding me. It's like, yeah, bro, I'm the cracky. You spoke about me on the episode. I'm like, famous. Oh shit. I was like, oh man, I appreciate you watching the show and
I am so sorry.
thank you for giving me some content and some interesting something to talk about. But You gotta go, man.
You are a cracky and you are a criminal, but
He was off his face. Like, he was looking straight
how
through
did he
me.
find our episode?
Oh, my God.
Oh my god, he knows my name. I'm sure I know what he does with the videos now.
Oh, it was a great moment for me because I was just like, man, that's amazing that this guy that no chance I thought this guy ever seen the show. He's just gone, yeah, I'm the cracky. Like,
And you're like, yeah, you are.
yeah. Oh, he was on it. He was on some serious shit this time as
Wasn't
well.
he offended?
Oh, he loved it. He just thought it was the best thing in the world that he was known on the show
But he's a criminal.
and known as a cracky, and he's trying to steal shit while I was trying to stop him. So, yeah, he took it in stride and took it with pride. So, he did leave. He shook my hand, so thanks a lot. I really
Did
appreciate.
you wash your hands after that?
Of course, I did. Shook my hand, so I really enjoyed meeting you, and thank you for getting on my show, and thanks for calling me the cracky. That's my mates call me the same thing. So, apparently all his mates watch the show as well now. So,
God, has he ever considered that, like, maybe his mates call him that for a reason?
well, they call him that apparently because that's what we called him on the show. So
my God,
now
I
all his mates
just-
call him the cracky.
Oh my god.
So the cracky made a reappearance, and not where I thought it was going to be. I thought you'd enjoy that one.
Was the camera on me when
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
No, I didn't either. And
I didn't see that coming at all.
fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed my
Did not see that
meeting with
coming.
the cracky
Oh my
again.
god.
Even though I was telling him, man, you got to go, or someone's going to call the cops. So
Yeah, cracky.
yeah, cracky. Well, let's join us back on the show again.
Because I was so loud.
Next segment we have is the jumpers for 2023, the new jumpers. I sent you the video or the pictures so you can follow along as I talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is the Western Bulldogs home jumper. Now, there's not a huge amount of difference here to what there was in previous or the last year. However, the main difference you will notice is the collar. A lot of people are saying it looks like the BLK toilet seat collar that they didn't end up wearing, thankfully. But I actually really like it. Last year's one was sort of cut off and it had a weird bib, which I think it was something that they'd done previously was this bib, but Em's giving herself a bit of a readjust and a scratch. I actually kind of like this collar. It stands out. It looks cool. I don't mind it. I think the retro one might have had a white collar as well. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Apologies. But yeah, I don't mind this jumper at all. I think it looks quite nice. And I think the back looks simple and pretty much the same as this year. The Clash jumper, that's where they've gone wrong. Are you looking at it now?
What the fuck is that?
They've dropped the
Oh, they've dropped all right.
they've dropped the quality of this jumper, that's for sure. They've dropped the stripes quite low, and it looks not great. I'll be honest.
Horrendous.
Horrendous, M might say.
I wouldn't even eat my dinner off that. Spaghetti.
That is harsh. But yeah, I am not a fan of the away jumper or the Clash jumper. It's not great at all. Considering the home jumper I quite like, and the toilet shape or the toilet seat collar doesn't work in the blue. It actually looks
Mhm.
alright in the white, but it really does not look
It
good.
doesn't really suit because of the red cuffs as
Mm.
well. Like it just is. It's a mess.
It is a bit of a mess. So a bit of a miss there. You know, they've still got time to fix it, so we'll see what happens. Because they actually did really well with the home jumper as far as the stripes go. The away jumper, the stripes are gigantic and just look really odd. And the fact they're sitting on their ass, it's going to look really weird. Next up, we've got the St Kilda. We're back to the St Kilda jumper. This time it is the Clash, the hot cross bun jumper. Great jumper that I thought from last year. I actually really loved it the first time I saw it and had to get myself one. And then this year, as you can see, in the long sleeve version, you can see Jack Sinclair there, full black sleeves, and on the back is actually a black back this year. So last year, if you remember, had the full red. So I went red on white on the front, and then on the back was just full red. I thought the red was a little overpowering. It's a little bit much on the back. So this is a really nice little cut-off, and actually reminds me of the Robert Harvey jumper I have from 1997, which we had on the show with Craig Callahan. The same sort of black cut-off at the back with the red at the bottom. So they've done well, I think. I really like this Clash jumper. M doesn't, though.
I don't mind the back of it. I don't like the black sleeves. It just looks odd.
Mm.
Just going from red to black, it just looks like
I
they
know.
ran out of material and went, oh, we better use the black.
Do you think it would be better if they used red?
I don't know, because then I like the backing.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know how they would have done that. I get why they've done it, but I don't like it.
Well, again, just for those people that have seen my Robert Harvey long sleeve, this is the same long sleeve. So the long sleeves on this jumper in 2023 are the same as the one in 97. So I wonder if it's got the red cuffs. I don't think it has the red cuffs at the bottom of the arms.
I don't know if I hate the jersey more or the haircut.
The haircuts are getting pretty bad.
I think the haircut's worse, to be honest.
But I think they've done a good job here. I really like that black backing.
I like the back. I don't like the sleeve, but I don't know how you would have done that differently. So
Yeah, exactly.
I get it, but I don't get.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, you could have done it as a split, so you continued that hot cross bun style and gone red top, black bottom. I don't know.
Weird.
But yeah, anyway, I quite like it. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't actually see too many players wearing the long sleeve, so it will stand out for sure when they actually do. Next up is the Hawks Legends jumper. First thing for me, and I actually said it. So Brett Attrell actually sent me the first picture I saw of this jumper, and my first comment to him was, "Too much poos." You know, they are known as the Poos and Wees, the old Hawks.
Oh, really?
Well, brown and gold, Poos and Wees.
Poos and Wees.
So
okay.
to me, that's just a lot of poos. It's very brown.
Too much poo, very little wee.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's too much.
Is,
yeah, I don't like that at all.
Now I don't really understand. So the whole idea of this jumper, and has been in past, is it's supposed to be a tribute to a club legend. So Lee Matthews being the club legend this year, but he didn't wear this jumper. This design was not worn by Lee Matthews. So I'm not too sure how it is a tribute to Lee Matthews as a legend of the club, but he didn't wear it, this design at all. It confuses me a bit. And it's just too much poos. The sketches, as you can see in the collar there as well, I mean, it's inevitable. It is going to look a bit weird, but you will get used to it pretty quickly. I do, however, like the hawk underneath. The little hawk design underneath is pretty cool. I don't mind that. I believe that's an old school logo as well. And I also don't mind the long sleeve. So the back of it with the KFC and the II net, a lot of red on the back, and the giant 20, as Wingard is wearing there. I actually don't mind that long sleeve at all.
No, pity about the person wearing it, though.
Em is not a fan of Chad Wingard. Hasn't been since Port Adelaide days, because he does tend to whinge a bit. So, and he's very pretty. Who thinks he is? So
is he?
Well, he believes so.
He thinks he's pretty. That's the problem.
So Emma's not a fan.
I hate him.
Sorry to all you Hawks fans out there.
No, nothing against the Hawks. It's not the Hawks' fault. I mean, you got to get a player when you got to get a player. I mean, I'm just going to blame. I don't want to blame Port Adelaide either. I just blame Wingard.
Yeah.
I hate hearing his name. I hate hearing his name.
Hate's a very strong word, Emma.
I hate him. He's just
continued.
Hate him. But the Grinch movie, when he's like, hate, loathe entirely. That's me to Wingard.
Hate, double hate, loathe entirely.
Right, well, we'll get off the hate for now. Next up is a couple of training jumpers, and I love these. The Geelong Cats one.
I like that one.
I don't know if it's the same as they wore last year, but somebody posted it this year. I think it looks wicked. I don't know why. It gives me a very NBA basketball style.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. It actually looks like the Bobcats' old jersey.
The collar looks like it sits very high up on their throat, though.
I was going to mention that. So they've had the G previously on the collar, but this one seems to sit right on the throat.
That would irritate me if I was playing a game. It's like sitting right there.
Yeah,
I couldn't deal with that.
No, so that is interesting. That's probably the only thing I would find a bit weird about this jumper. But I do really like the design. I think it looks wicked. And the Cats 35 looks exactly like an Adam Morrison Charlotte Bobcats jersey from back in the day. So chuck a picture up of that so you know what I'm talking about. And then the final one we have is the Port Adelaide Stealth Training Jumper. Everyone remembers the Stealth Jumper from last year. I mean, there could be a different one still coming, but this one looks tremendous. I think Alira, to be honest,
Just
makes
about
a
to
lot of
say,
things look good.
he actually makes that look really good.
I'm also on the lookout for an Alira jumper. I just love the man. I think he's a great defender for one, but he just always seems like a happy dude as well. So he's one jumper I'd love to get in the collection. If you have an Alira jumper, hit me up. I'd love to get one. But how good does this jumper look? Not just on Alira, but in general, it's great. So well done to Port. You could almost take away the MG logo and make it a home jumper. I think it would look pretty cracking as well. So well done to Port Adelaide on that jumper. It looks tremendous. We do have mail day. Em's trying to get Milo back up on the lap for mail day, but it's not working. All right, she's up. Milo's joined us back. Hello, Milo. You going to say something? Hello? Good girl. Good job. You're a very...
It's not easy being a potato, you
know. She is a social butterfly. Em, it is time for mail day.
Mail day.
Mail day.
Oh, even Milo's interested in mail day. The only problem we have with mail day, I'm very sorry, is that we haven't got anything for you to open today.
Because Erin opened all of them.
Because Erin's already opened them. I haven't actually purchased anything new for a bit. And one of the other things I did purchase didn't come in the packaging. So I will pass them across to Em anyway, and she can show you what we've got in the last week of mail day. I'll try and do it in a way where you can't see it. Yep. Okay, so she has mail day number 1. Emmy can show it around Milo's head. All right, so this one is, there's that G at the top there as well that we were talking about just a moment ago. This is a 2020 Geelong Cats home jumper, and Milo's jumping away. Maybe, yep, it was gone. 2020 Geelong Cats home jumper. There's that G in the middle, as I mentioned. Does have a GPS pocket, which a lot of them don't seem to have at the moment when people are selling these 2020 jumpers. So it actually makes it somewhat rare. If you want to turn around, Em, you can have a look. The number 9, and it is signed. So it is Jack Stephen jumper, and he's signed it on there as well. As you can tell, the top doesn't have the Ford logo. So this is, you could say it's from round 1, because round 1 they didn't have that Ford logo up there. Round 2 and onwards they did. Potentially also this was just an unworn, unused player issue jumper that they didn't want to patch. Potentially even signed it before the season started. Not too sure. But it also came with a COA from the AFL as well. So there you go. Pretty cool jumper. But I don't necessarily want to keep it. So if anyone is a Geelong Cats fan and would like that, hit me up. Make an offer. We can do a deal. Second one, Em. Let me just grab that for you. We're going to the table again. All right, the second one we got was from an auction win, which we did talk about a little bit, I think, a few weeks ago. Yeah, I'm sure we did. Anyway, you can actually open this one, Em.
Yes, you did actually.
So this one's in a box. It's a pretty crappy little box, but it's okay. But the issue I have is the postage costs on these. So I know a lot of people who won them from over east actually got people from WA to pick them up and send them over to them because they were charging an extravagant amount for postage.
Like what?
$75.
For postage?
Yeah.
From Ozpost?
Yeah. Yep.
But you can send it for $12.
Yeah. So this is exactly what I was saying to somebody the other day, is that will fit in a small, not even a medium, but a small Australia Post parcel, which you could send express.
It's like $12 something.
$12.20. So you can send that express in a small parcel, be fine. $12.20 will be there within 3 days.
So they're making a profit on postage as well.
That is an insane amount.
That's not even a profit. That's like a loan.
So yeah, Yeah, wasn't a fan of that at all when I heard it. However, I went and picked it up from the club, so I did not pay $75 for postage. Could I imagine paying $75 postage within WA as well?
Yeah.
There it is.
To arrive like 17 weeks later.
Yeah, not kidding. As I mentioned, I sent something to Japan and took 4 days, and then buying stuff in WA, and it's taking a week to 2 weeks to arrive. How good is this design, however? So this is West Coast Eagles' first ever Pride design. You may remember a very large controversy last year about them not doing a Pride design. Didn't go down well at all. So they've come back and they've done one this year, and it looks tremendous. They've got that new AFLW logo on there. Everything is sublimated for now, at least on the front of the jumper anyway. Then you've got the Telstra logo in the middle, and it is signed in a very odd spot.
Sorry.
It's signed underneath the BHP logo, which is a bit odd, but so be it. Now, the eagle head, if you want to lift it up, show it to the camera. I love that. The design looks great. To make a chicken look that good, they've done well. Turn around, We've already showed the people. But I think the back looks fantastic. You've got the heat press Hungry Jack's logo at the top there. It is heat pressed, but I think it looks great. Then you've got the Pride logo or the Pride flag going across the top as well, which looks fantastic. GPS logo, of course. The Bum Eco sponsorship down the bottom is also sublimated. However, the numbers are actually heat pressed.
Yeah, it makes the signature look shit.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It makes it look like it's a printed signature just about. But I really like that jumper. It looks awesome. It does have a bunch of writing if you want to hold that up close, only on the back. And it's basically just a bunch of quotes or just some words.
It's, like discrimination. Like no discrimination, removal of this, approval, stand together, resilient.
Yeah.
Love is love. Start the conversation. Yeah.
So there you go. That was our second mail day for the week, which I went and picked up myself. So it's a pick up mail day. But great jumper.
Cost you $5 or $10 in fuel to save $75.
100%, and was definitely worth doing.
Joke.
However, that jumper, which is match worn, so they wore in round 7 and round 8. She would have worn that in round 7 because she didn't play in round 8 because she injured herself. And I was then worried that potentially did she just wear it in training during round 7 or between round 7 and round 8, but she actually got injured at the end of round 7, so she didn't train in the lead up to round 8. So they didn't wash it post round 7 game, which is interesting because I would have thought all the ones from round 7 would have been washed for them to use in round 8, but they must have known that she was not going to be playing round 8, so they didn't wash it, and it stinks.
I'm not sniffing this.
But I love it. It's a great jumper. It looks great, and it cost me $175, which for the first time ever that the West Coast Eagles have released an AFLW jumper means it's super cheap. Absolute steal. So stoked to pick that one up. Em, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I like it.
Em, next segment we have is viewer questions. And we have a whopping 2 questions. Over to you, Em.
I'll start with Blake, I suppose. Blake Cook. There's a fire. That's literally how it starts. The fire emoji. There's a fire. You can only take 3 jumpers. What ones are you taking?
I hate these questions. And again, you would think I would think about it before we do this show, but I didn't. But this is like asking your 3 favorite kids. If you've got more than 5 kids or 3 kids, it can be a problem. But I have 400 kids, so it's going to be difficult to answer.
Oh, we're talking jerseys here. Oh, God, you had me worried for a minute. Then I was like, 400 kids, jeez.
The easiest one for me would be David Mundy's 300 jumper. Number 1, simple. I think Craig Callahan's 1995 debut jumper, the away one, which was showed on the Craig Callahan episode. Potentially number 2. Number 3 is a massive toss-up. It's a bloody hard one to answer. And you might find it funny that we spoke about him last week, about how much of a bit of a dick he can be. But he is still one of the greatest players of all time. Gary Ablett being the player I'm talking about. I have a 300th game jumper of Gary Ablett, so that might have to be the third. That would change probably 100 times if I was to answer this question. Those probably the Callahan and the Ablett jumpers would probably change many, many times. But if the fire was to happen tonight, that's probably the 3 I would grab. But I'd probably burn in the fire because I wouldn't be able to make a decision to leave with them. So thanks, Blake. I hate you for your question. But thank you. Second and final question.
From Luke Smith _Tiger on Instagram.
Yep.
What is the biggest frustration when it comes to collecting?
Biggest frustration is, I think, people that think they know everything when there are definitely people out there who know a lot more than them. And here I am sitting on a podcast episode talking about player edges jumpers as if I know everything there is to know about them. And I'll freely admit that I do not. A lot of times I have to go to other collectors and ask them for help on things and what is this? I mean, I can tell you quite a bit about Freo jumpers, but when it comes to other clubs, I'm not going to pretend and say that I know everything about everything. That's not even close. When there are people that you make a comment or, okay, as a bit of an example is I have a 1999 Carlton jumper, 99 grand final Carlton jumper, that is. And it's been on my website, my AFL Guernsey Collections page on Facebook for 37 weeks or so. And someone commented during the week, and they are actually a Carlton fan. So this makes it even worse. They commented that this jumper is fake because there was never a Trent Hopner play for the Carlton Blues, and the grand final patch is fake. I just said, look, I'm very sorry, but you're mistaken. Trent Hopner played one game of footy for the Blues. So, no, he didn't play much, but he played a game. So, yes, there was a Trent Hopner play for the Blues. And it doesn't matter that he may not show up in the records as being on the list that year in 1999 because he actually was on the list. He just, if you Google search 1999 playing list, you might not find him straight away because, he didn't play. Sometimes you have to dig a little bit deeper. So I think one of the main thing that pisses me off is that people just don't do their research, don't dig deep enough to figure things out. So that really shit me especially when people say your jumpers are fake. I actually haven't had that for a long time. I actually had it a little bit back in 2015-ish when I almost started collecting, or a year into collecting. I had people tell me my stuff was fake quite often, and they used to piss me off so much. So when this dude said that my jumper was fake, it just triggered me. And I'm like, mate, how can you be a Carlton fan and not even know the history of your own club and then call the jumper patch or the grand final patch fake as well? It's like, get a clue. I mean, this pisses me off when people do that. So that's one of the most frustrating things. And one of the other frustrating things is people who don't do their own research. It's all well and good for people to ask questions, but when you're getting messages about pretty obvious things that you can just look up and find out yourself within 5 seconds, that's pretty frustrating because I myself started out collecting having to learn everything about everything and researching. And I think I spent way too much time on the internet trolling through things trying to figure out what everything was. But I learned things. So, yeah, I think that's probably covers the most frustrating thing. There's a lot more. There's a hell of a lot of things within the hobby that frustrate me. But the good thing is most things are much more positive than negative. So I say that those things are frustrating as hell, but they're much more, they don't happen very often. So take that how you want. That's it. That's your questions.
Something that someone told me ages ago when I worked at Macca's, like one of the big bosses, he said to me, no matter how long you've been doing something for or how much you think you know, there is always more to learn and more knowledge to take on. You'll never know everything.
Yeah.
Like you can never sit there and say, I know absolutely everything, because it's always changing.
Yeah.
You'll always be learning something.
Yeah, that's still the biggest, probably the biggest lesson actually to know in this hobby is that you may think you know everything,
But you don't.
but there's somebody else who knows something that you
Yeah.
don't. So they may not know more about things that you know, but they may know something that you don't know. Therefore, you're
Yeah.
still learning. You need to learn from those people and try not to act like a know-it-all dick, because chances are you're going to get schooled at some point. So
Don't act like a knob.
don't act like a knob. And with that, we are going to jump into the final segment of the show. What's in the cave?
It's getting super windy outside.
It is.
1 hour later.
All right, Em, we're ready. We're back. I'm saying I'm back because I just had to go and do something that I've had Guzman's for dinner. Well, I love Guzmani Gomez. We ate it quite a bit, but it wrecked me. A few times tonight I've had to run away, so we're back to do the final segment. Episode's gone much longer than expected, as per usual. And that's because I've had to run away a couple of times. But
You need to put up that thing that used to happen on, not that many people would know, but like in SpongeBob, and it'd be like 1 hour later.
yeah, I might actually do that. But we're back, and the final segment is what's in the cave. Em, let's jump over the wheel and let's find out what is in the cave today.
It's in the cave. In the
What
cave.
number are we getting, Em?
It's in the cave today. 101.
All right, I'm going to go with
Dalmatians.
375. Like I
hate you.
said, I just really want to see a high number so we get more than Freo jumpers pop out, but I can't see it happening anytime soon. I actually don't even know how many of the higher numbers are actually on there. Swear to God.
What?
Number 10, Scott Dowsing. Thank you for your jumper choice. And we'll go and have a look. We're not going to bother pausing because it should only take her a moment once she gets the cabinet open to find jumper number 10. All right. Em's got it. So we're going to jump over to me. Emma's jumper number 10. I'm pretty excited about this one, actually. You can see it. She fights with the cabinet.
I like the way every time you're like, pretty excited about this one. But why would you have something in your cave that you're not excited about?
That's a fair point.
Hmm.
Fair point.
Pretty excited about this one, but it's in my cave and I'm excited about it.
Em's perked up. It's taken her an hour and 20 minutes. It is exactly 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
And she's finally perked up.
You
Come out
owe
the shell.
me a chocolate drink after this.
All right. And Milo's not here, by the way, so you don't have to call it a chocolate drink. For those playing at home, what is it?
A Milo.
A Milo. So I will make you a Milo as soon as we're done here, which is very shortly. Yes. Em, you may now hold up jumper number 10, thanks to Scott Dowsing.
The one that you're pretty excited about.
I'm very excited. Always excited. Beautiful.
Bloody
beautiful. Bloody beautiful. Gorgeous. I love this jumper. I've said already many times since we started this podcast that I love this particular design. There's cool things about it. There's a couple of little tidbits as well with this jumper that we'll be able to speak about, not just what you see. So if you pull it back just a little bit, Em, see if they can see more of the jumper. A bit better. This one is a 2000 away Fremantle Dockers jumper, which is very commonly known as the 3D anchor, and was brought back for this year's retro round, as we've talked about many times. And we actually had, what do we have? Do we have one of the No, we didn't have one of the retros on. We had the 2019. Yes, we did. We have a 2019 David Mundy retro jumper on recently. So this is the 3D anchor version of the original. So as you can see, the really weird AFL patch that is sewn on. It was only in 2000 they did this really oddly. Well, it just looks weird. And on the other side, we've got Choose a Linter Gas. It is made by Adidas. If you lift up a little bit, you can see that is Heath Black's signature right there in the middle of that jumper. I think I paid $250 for this jumper. It was in a frame, and it was something that people were not fighting over at all. It was up for a little while, and I saw it and went and bought it straight away. But that just shows you that I bought this jumper maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and people were not even willing to pay $250 for this jumper because they thought it was ugly. And now here I am, holding a piece that's probably worth $1,500 minimum. And you can turn it around now, and you can show, as I've already said, it is Heath Black's jumper. Those that remember Heath Black know that he wore 21 for Freo a little bit later in his career. So he wore number 7 early on for Fremantle before switching over to number 21. That Alinta Gas logo is also stitched on over the top of the old Yaka logo. And you can turn it back around. Actually, no, leave it for a moment. I think Craig mentioned that the size of the shield on the back of the original jumper is huge compared to this year's jumper, which was actually rather small, and that was because of the program sponsor at the top of the jumper just wouldn't fit and quite weird. But love the size of this one. Em's struggling to hold it up. Em, turn around again. You can actually turn inside out, Em, because you can stop holding it up for a bit. Turn inside out for me. We'll have a look. So all Em's doing that, she's staring me down, but we're not even looking at her. Turn her inside out, and you'll see some little Easter eggs on the inside there, which will tell you a few things as well. Em's just found one of them. I did mention that the Alinta Gas logo was over the top, patched over the top of an old logo. No, it's not surprising. And if you go up close, actually, you can't even see it on those ones. Can you have a look at those two and see if you can see the outline of the old logos? You can see it on the outside, so that's fine.
No.
Okay, so with the inside of the jumper, I'll just show the back for now, and then we'll turn it back around again, and we'll show you the front. So there you go. You can quite clearly see the Yaka patch on the back. And you'd be thinking, why would they have a Yaka patch on a 2000 jumper? Because this was actually reused from 98 and 99. So this is back in the days when they didn't simply reorder jumpers every single year. They recycled. So 98 and 99, they used the same jumpers. And then again in 2000, they just patched over the 98, 99 jumpers and reused them for a third year. So 3 years straight, they used these particular 3D anchored away jumpers. There you go. So while Em's going to turn it back inside out again, you can see the old logos stitched, or where the old logos used to be stitched on the front as well. At least. All right.
You see that?
There you go. You can see the stitching mark where the old AFL badge used to be. The old AFL shield, as a matter of fact. Can you see where the old Yaka logo used to be, or no? Yes, there you go. You can see the square outline of the old Yaka logo from when that was pulled off as well. So that's it. Was this a sports wool jumper as well on the tag there? If you pull that up, the tag underneath, there should be a third tag.
Yeah.
There you go. So hold that up to the camera as well, Em. This is a very special logo. It's sports wool. So the jumper itself was actually made of this really weird wool blend. So it's not fully wool, but it's a blend of wool into polyester material. And it went really weird. So thankfully with this one, it's not so bad. But some of the other jumpers I have on the inside, that material just goes really, really odd. And from what I've heard from some of the players who wore it, it got really, really hot and they did not enjoy it at all. So that sports wool didn't last too long. 98, 99, and then 2000. And that was it. It was gone. Gone skis.
Gone. Just like us.
Just
Gone.
like us. Well done, Em. That is a good segue for us to leave today's episode. Before we go, please leave a like and subscribe on this show. We'd love to hit 100 subscribers before Christmas, which is 2 weeks away. And of course, Christmas episode, Em, is only 1 week away.
Sorry.
Em's excited. She's also excited for a nap.
Hmm.
She does have to work early in the morning. I do not. So, Christmas episode next week. Don't forget, Sunday the 18th at 7 p.m. West Australian Standard Time. I believe that is 10 o'clock Eastern. Apologies for that, but the lights won't show up at all in the earlier we go. So 7 o'clock it will be. Tune in live here on YouTube and join us for all the fun and activities, giveaways probably as well. Or if you're in WA, you can come down and join us and be a live audience. That could be fun.
Mm.
Yeah. Em, thank you for joining me.
Oh my God.
Thank you. And before we go, one quick shout out to Nick Giannotti, who will be having a little party this week as well. As you can see on your screen, this Thursday coming up is the Derby Footy Christmas Party, 15th of December. Meeting the stars, as you can see, Oscar Allen, Dom Sheed, Andy Brayshaw, and Luke Jackson will be there as well. $3,000 worth of raffle prizes. It is at the Morley Local from 6 till 9:30 p.m. Tickets are $50. Please hit up Nick or go see the link at the bottom of your screen and buy your tickets and enjoy that party. And don't forget to join us on our Christmas episode next week. Em, that's it. We are done. We are outies. Thank you for joining me. You may have your nap. If only it was that easy. All right, people. Thank you so much. See you next week at our Christmas episode. I'm excited. See you later.